This is part 6, Hormone Replacement Therapy, or HRT. There are a lot of different reasons for HRT. Women entering menopause, guys with certain types of prostate cancer, and so on. But the one I will address is that which applies equally to MTFs and FTMs. I originally started HRT on December 1st, 2005. Any HRT is a system of gradually increasing dosages with blood or saliva tests to monitor the levels until the desired level is reached. Everyone, regardless of biological sex, has the hormones of both sexes. All hormones start out as androgens. Androgens are then processed by the various organs in the body to become testosterone, one of the three estrogenic compounds, i.e. estrone, estradiol, or estriol, progesterone, pituitary hormones, thyroidal hormones, and on and on. Hormones cause the body to do certain things. Growth, skin texture, glandular development, primary and/or secondary sex characteristics, i.e. hair growth, breast developments, etc. And unfortunately, in males or FTMs, the hair growth is often accompanied by hair loss and MPB, male pattern baldness. An excess of hormones, a hormonal imbalance, or synthetic hormones can cause problems. Breast, vaginal, testicular, and prostate cancer among the worst. Deciding to take hormones is, obviously, entirely separate from the decision to have a GRS. Unfortunately, the SOC requires HRT as a condition for approving the GRS, which is one of the many reasons I disapprove of the SOC. Any system which endangers your health as a condition for curing gender identity disorder is evil. I heard a story about an MTF who had a health reaction, stroke, directly caused by the HRT. Because HRT had to be discontinued, or die, the conditions of the SOC for the GRS were not met, and the GRS would never be a reality. Fortunately, a suitable substitute was found, and the MTF is once again on track to the GRS. That substitute was, by the way, natural hormones, which we'll cover in a little while. Well, this is a fine example of the inequity of the SOC system. To deprive an individual of the chance to have the GRS because of health problems, or even an allergy, is just plain cruel. But again, profit is the main consideration for the gender specialist community of the HBIGDA. If you are in the system, confront them about it. My solution totally eliminates the need for the SOC system or confronting its inequity. HRT. I started taking 1 tablet of Premarin, 0.625 milligrams per day for 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, the daily dosage was increased by 0.625 milligrams. Spironolactone, a testosterone receptor suppressant, was at 25 milligrams per day. Spironolactone increased by 25 milligrams every 2 weeks to a maximum of 100 milligrams per day. So, by the end of the 4th week, I was ready to start at the 1.875 milligram per day dosage level. I was aware of the dangers of Premarin. Pregnant mare's urine is the original source. Now it is a synthetic. I had been educated to the dangers by Carolyn Dean's book and had found an alternative medicine specialist. I continued the Premarin HRT until I got the natural hormones. Synthetic hormones, according to the PDR, Physician's Desk Reference, cannot be used for more than 10 years or severe health consequences can result. Natural hormones being derived from soybeans and wild yams can be taken indefinitely with no ill effect. But from the time I knew natural hormone HRT was a certainty, I doubled the dosage of Premarin and doubled the increase. When I got the natural hormones, I doubled the dosage and the increase again. By the time I left for Thailand for my GRS, I was taking the equivalent of 40 milligrams Premarin per day, as well as 100 milligrams of spironolactone. The equivalency of the natural hormones to whatever synthetic you are taking is a matter of analysis for you and the doctor who prescribes them. If you are fortunate enough to start HRT on the natural hormones or are taking generic estradiol, then you are indeed fortunate. Monthly saliva testing showed my normal hormonal levels were approaching female normal. Testosterone is 1/4 that of male normal. On February 23, when I got the call saying GRS approved, I ceased taking all hormones and medication. The alternative medicine doctor also educated me to DIM, which is a balancing supplement in natural and synthetic HRT routines. 100 milligrams per day of DIM is good. The other meds I was taking were the spironolactone and mega dosages of vitamins. I was also up to 50 sit-ups and 25 push-ups, Marine style, per day. These I continued up to and after the GRS, with only a 2-week pause for the GRS and some recovery time. GRS does require a certain level of physical health for proper recovery. After the GRS, I resumed vitamins and HRT. HRT was lowered to 10 milligrams per day, which is a sound maintenance dose. I was able to forget about spironolactone since the testosterone source had been removed. As for testing, this was done every 3 months for the first 6 months. At this point, I was at normal female hormone levels, and new maintenance for me was 10 milligrams per day. I continued the DIM. In May of 2007, I discontinued all hormones, though I still took the DIM. I have been through the equivalent of menopause. On days when I missed the hormone dose, the subsequent hot flashes and cold sweats reminded me. Since I do not like the thought of being addicted to any drug, I concluded that HRT created an addiction. The hot flashes and cold sweats made me think of my brother going through heroin withdrawals. That's why I stopped taking HRT. In January of 2008, I started taking estradiol, generic for estrase, a semi-natural hormone. Over 6 weeks, I built the dosages up to where I am today and shall remain 2 milligrams twice a day. I note no symptoms when I miss a dose, so I concluded it's safe for me. Estradiol is mainly concerned with secondary characteristics, such as softening the skin by adding a thin layer of fat, and because I have had 38 Bs since puberty, the development of better-looking nipples. As with any medication, I cannot emphasize strongly enough the need for regular monitoring via blood or saliva testing. Saliva testing is more accurate and less expensive. A note for the FTMs about HRT. Testosterone is also available as a natural hormone, but be advised that while you may have a hairy body, you do run the risk of going bald or cutting yourself shaving. Certainly, though, the natural hormones do not add to the risk of testicular cancer or any other male-oriented disease. As a final note for MTFs regarding HRT, before transition I had a bald spot on the top of my head, about 3 inches in diameter, and a receding hairline. Within 6 months of beginning HRT, I noticed the hair growing again. Now I have a nice head of hair and no hair loss. And now it's time to ask you, please go to part 7.